Hello everybody, I'm back again and I've just been trying to find some fabrics to start with. I showed you my container full of tea stained laces and things, and these ones were in there. This is just like a almost like a crepe chiffon type fabric, but it's got these little bobble things in it, so I thought that might be nice. And what I'm going to be doing is putting some ruffles down some of the pages. I just wanted to add a little bit of colour, so I've chosen that one. I have this lace here also, there we go, which is a nice lightweight. I don't want anything overly thick, so that might work nicely. So I chose those, and then I went through my floral fabrics to try and find the right kinds of colours. I'm using this page here as my guide because it has the blues, the pinks, the greens, different tones of greens in it, the beiges. You know, it goes from dark pink or rose through to the lighter shades in the flowers. So it gives me a good mix. The blues do turn up in things throughout. So this is what I came up with. I thought that might work, but when I put it next to the others, it just looks a little bit too bright. So we might not use that one. But I did find this one, and I thought that would be nice to add a darker pop every so often. So I may not use that for a ruffle, but I may be able to use it further down the track. I have this little packet here. This was just a pack I found thrifting a long time ago with different bits of fabrics in it. There's one here that's got the blues in it. We've got rosy pinks in this one here, and you have the lovely greens in this one here as well. I think some of these fabrics weren't in this pack, but I've put them in at a later stage. So they will work well. I also have this piece here, and this is a piece of curtaining. What is it? Canterbury exclusive print by Gummerson Fabrics Design. Some of those colours may work, but I'm not sure whether I'll use that as a ruffle because it's a little bit too thick as a ruffle. So that one will go with that one, maybe used further down the line. And then I have this piece of sheeting here. It has the blues, the greens, the pinks in it, and that may work quite nicely as well. It's not overly thick at all. I thought I'd already started cutting into this at a previous time, but it doesn't appear. Maybe it was, oh, there we go. Yes, I have. See, I've just ripped pieces off it there. So, but what I think I might do is put those ones down here. That one needs to go back away. And I'll start with a more solid colour. So I do want to be using that in here somehow. This one's a nice solid rose kind of colour, and when you put that behind a bit of lace or something, it does tend to soften it, or even, you know, under a bit of fabric, you just get that glimmer coming through. So I may start with that, and also the green one. I love this green one. I do, and if anybody's interested, it's called the Fancy Fabric Collection. I have tried to look this one up online before. I think somebody asked me about it once before, and I don't think they make it anymore, but it's really, really pretty. So we may start off with that. What else is in here? That. Quite thick, that one. one, you get glimpses going through. That might work as well, just for a little bit of difference. Not a lot of that, is there? But that could work quite nicely in the journals as well. So I'll definitely keep this bag out and about. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just cut some strips. I'll just cut that across there first. Get rid of the edge bit. Use that on things further down. Okay, let's try and keep in shot here. Let's get some, I've got all these little scissors hanging around and I need a bigger, perhaps some fabric scissors. Maybe about that. Let's have a look. About that width. There. I'll cut a couple of those. So put the skinny ones aside. They can be used on tags and things as well. So there's 4 of those. So I'm sort of thinking 2 per journal might work. Okay, so there's those. Okay, isn't it beautiful? I love this. Alright, I'm going to just take that off there. Put that to the side. And I don't think I need it. Oh, mind you, I'll just do it. That's fine. I can do 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that's 1. And 2. I might need another one of those. That way I can use part, cut it off and join it to another part. That should be enough for a couple of pages. Okay. Some of this one. Okay, I could probably just do one really long one of this, maybe. Which is definitely hasn't been cut straight beforehand. So I will Just try and even it up a bit. There we go. So we have a straggly bit there, and then that should be fairly the same. I think it might have stopped a bit short there. No, we'll leave it. That's fine. I think it's quite thick though, isn't it? What I might do is make a, like that, try that. Okay, that gives me a better width. Okay, so I got that one there. Now, this long skinny strip as well. I'll play around with that later, I think. Okay, we have our bundle of little threads going. I'm not sure I'll do this one into strips, to be honest, because I might need that, you know, it might be able to use it further down as something else. That in there. That little offcut there I'll probably might use down the track. Go away with that as well. Now I think no, that can go down there. This is lovely. It's so soft. I don't think you can rip this one though. I think I need to go onto my table and cut some strips of this up because I'll have more room down there to do it. Okay. I will go and cut some strips from this and maybe this, and then I will be back. Alright, so I've done that. I've cut some strips of this fabric here. Now this fabric was the front of a blouse, so it had some seams down the front of it, so there wasn't actually a lot to work with. So I got as much as I could out of the front of that blouse piece. So I've got those, and then I've cut some strips of the lovely lace as well, a couple of long strips there, and then 2 block pieces of the lace as well, because I might want to, you know, have them a little bit different. We'll see how we go though. But at the moment I'm just thinking about putting a couple of ruffled pages in to start with. So I'll put that over there. So let's have a look. And that will be on the blank pages. So I just need to get my head in the right gear here first. And what I mean is, like, having a ruffle like that, but over the top of it so it's not too dark, is having some of the lace over it as well, coming down the side. I could do that by doing it together like that, or I could do it both separately. So, because when you do it together like that, see how everything folds exactly the same. Whereas if I was to kind of scrunch and ruffle that up by itself like that, and then have a separate one again over the top, it gives it a different look. And I'm not sure what look I want. So, what I might do, I've got a scrap of paper here. I might just practice a bit on that and see what it ends up looking like. And then I'll come back and show you, and the one I decide on I will film under the sewing machine. Alright, so they're done, and that's how they both look. Now, this one here is done with having both fabrics together at the same time and just ruffling it under the foot of the sewing machine, and that's how that has turned out. And this is doing them both separately. This one is more time consuming. I missed a little bit there, but that's okay because that can have a flower or something like, where's that thing? One of these perhaps. Like in the middle there. That could work. You know, it could have a flower or, oh, look, I've got a green flower there. That could work in the center. But you know what I mean. But for the sides of the pages, I think I will go with this method. That way I'm only getting the one stitch line as well. I can add to it. These won't be wasted. I can use these as tags in the journals. But I think I will definitely be doing them both together on the sides of the pages at this point. So I'll just set my camera up and show you exactly how I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm hoping you can see well enough here. I've got my page. I'm just opening it up and placing it like that. I have my two strips. I have my fabric strip and I have my lace strip. Decide which way you want your lace to be. This one, they basically look the same both ways, so I'm not going to be too particular about it. Place it how you want to place it. I kind of want a little bit of lace over this side and more over that side. Just line it up there and put your needle in to the paper just to hold it in place. Sorry, I just need to change my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. I have a tool called a purple fang. I've had this for years. This one's actually wearing out at the tip there. I've used it so much. I did purchase a new one for myself. I'm not sure if it was this year or last year, just in case this one breaks at any stage. And you can find those just by looking them up online. Excellent little tool. They're just so useful for different things, is stuffing things and moving things around. If you don't have this, you can use like a wooden skewer. Just perhaps blunt the end of it a little bit so you don't push it through the fabric, but that might help you it sort of gives you another hand, really. So I'll just get my paper as straight as I want it. It doesn't have to be completely straight. I like to work in a shabby style. That way it takes the pressure off being perfect all the time in what you're doing, which is nice when you're crafting. Obviously, some crafts you do need to be rather perfect at what you're doing, but not this. So put my foot down, and what I'm going to do is sew, and as I sew, I'm just going to move it along like that. I don't care if it doesn't stay straight. I quite like it when it goes crooked. So I'll just go ahead and show you how I do that on this one. And it's up to you if you back stitch at the beginning and end. I will turn the volume down. My machine is very old. It's probably around 24 years old now. It's done an amazing job. It's a Janome MyXL 18W. I love it, but I know it's not going to last forever. It has its little moments, but I still love it. As you can see, I'm not even keeping the little ruffles consistent. I might leave a bit of a gap like that. I just like it as if it's just sort of being tossed there rather than, a even type of thing. And that's how that has turned out. I'm quite happy with that. That is the back of it, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on several pages in the journals, and then I'll be back. I'm back. I'll just show you what I've done. And I've done it to both of the journals I'm working on. As you can see, this one's all done as well. So it's just a matter of, you can see it's all ruffly, and there's the other one there. And so I basically sewed on the same side that way, and then as you go along, I did it the opposite way. See how it's on the other side there, and so a couple of pages in between, and I'm not worried if the sewing's a little bit crooked, because that's quite all right. In the center there, I used just plain fabric, and I used a bit of linen on the other side, and then it just goes back that way. And in the second signature, I found another fabric as well. I don't think, that's it there. Oh, I do have some left. It's really, really pretty. It was an old, what is it called? Christmas stocking I found at an op shop. Beautiful fabric though, isn't it? It's absolutely lovely. So I just cut a couple of strips off the top of that and use that, because that's a beautiful green colour, nicely muted. It just goes really nicely. See, there's touches of it in her dress there towards that shade, so I really like that. So that's pretty much how that side, and I did a couple just of that plain lace going down the side in the second signature, and then like that. So that's where I'm up to there. And of course you saw the tag, and then with the scraps I just made one out of green, so at some stage they'll be attached to a backing and perhaps stitched all around, and you know, a couple of flowers added to it. So I've made a couple of those for that one, and the same with that. I've used one with the blue fabric in there that was a scrap, so we've got those two there. I like to use all the scraps, and so what I did as well with the scraps was I just made some scrap pieces, and these are just all the little bits. Sometimes the side ruffle might have been a bit too long, so I cut a bit off of the, like, you know, this. I've got all these skinny pieces where it was just a little bit too wide, so I cut it off, and so I've used a couple and just zigzagged straight down the middle and made these little snips here, and these will come in very handy for decorating, like just as an example, you could put, you know, some across the top of the page, or down the side of the page, or even on that side of the page as well. I quite like that down that side of the page. We often forget the insides, don't we? Or even there in the, that's really pretty actually. So there's a thought, and you can just glue that on or just stitch it on. You know, it depends what look you're going for. Gluing would be very easy to put in there. In fact, I might just do that because I really like, although that is pink there and pink there, maybe not right there, but I do like the look of it. Might not find another page now. What about there? It does look pretty, doesn't it? Down the side center there. Yeah, well, anyway, at some stage that's probably what I will do. Got some of the green there and some of the blue there as well. So I've got lots of little bits to play with here. Oh, and that's another thought. I've got these little pockets I made. It could go just across like that. A couple of them, to be honest. Like, you could put that there. That there. Like that, with a bit of lace under that as well. So you've got lots of uses for things like that. So don't throw your scraps away while you've got your sewing machine going. Make a few little things to go with it. I have a huge thread ball already. I can't believe how much thread I've got with just starting this journal, and I think it's because these fabrics do pull very easily. Look at this. See that? Because I've ripped them, all these little stringy bits come off so easily, so you end up with such a beautiful little mound of threads. And like with your threads, you could, I've got these little things here, you just pull a little bit off. It's too much. Pull a little bit off, just tease it up a little bit. And you could put that on there, like that. You could, alright, here's a scrap. That, and another little scrap there, I guess. But that one, just pull it up a bit, like that, like that, like that. Like that, and Okay, all I did was a zigzag stitch right through the middle of that, and I could just pop on one of these little flowers. I could put that there. I could either stitch it on or just, isn't that pretty? Oh, I could stitch it on, or I could just glue it on. But if you wanted to put a little bead in it, you could stitch it on. But at the moment, I think I'll just glue that on, simply because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's a start of something, and you know, it can inspire me along my way. Oh, that one's almost empty. And I'll just put that there. And there we've got the start of a nice little embellishment. Just leave it. You could add a word to it. What else have we got hanging around? I've got this. Oh, look. There's my little, I made that ages ago. I lost it. It flew on the floor somewhere. And I put it on my desk and then I lost it again, and there it is. Got this. This is off something at some stage. But, you know, even something like that would look pretty, wouldn't it? And there's a little, I might just glue that on while we're at it as well. Then I can sit it there and maybe I'll make a couple more. And I think they came from Luscious Laces, these little pink things. Flowers. Okay. I shall just have it going like that. Think. Like that. And there we go. We have the start of a little embellishment. I could put some glitter in there. I could put beads in there. What else have I got? I've got another one of those. Do I want another one on that side? I could put another one on that side. Like that. Got to make sure my colours are staying true. Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. But anyway, do I want it like that? Or do I want it like that? I think I like two on there now. And this is what happens once you start going. Things get moving a bit better. Unfortunately, I can't keep going though, as much as I would love to. We're having visitors around lunchtime, so I need to go do some stuff. So there we go, the start of a little embellishment as well. You could use it on the front of that, or you know, on your page somewhere. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, this is going to be fun, isn't it? See, even that, one of those could go on there with some nice, with a bit of this to decorate. So many things you can do. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed part 2 of my floral journal, and I'm calling it like a vintage style floral journal. The kit names I'm using are from the Paper Cameo on Etsy. This one with all the ladies is called Bella, and then there is another one I'm using, and it is called Flora Ledger. They both have ephemera packs for them as well. So that's the papers I'm using to make this journal. And I hope you enjoyed what I did today, and I wish I could keep going. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.